Have you ever been good friends with a woman for months, maybe years, shared everything with her, been there for her in every difficult moment, and she told you she cared about you very much, but that care never went in the direction you wanted? Or even more painful, did you finally confess your feelings to her and receive the answer, "You're very special to me, but I see you as a friend"? Bro, that feeling is really heavy. Because it doesn't feel like rejection, yet at the same time, it's a complete rejection. And you're sitting there asking yourself, what did I do wrong? Am I not a good person? Should I have done more? Let me tell you this, you're not crazy. And most likely, the problem isn't that you're not good enough. The problem is in a much deeper and much more fixable place. Today, we're going to talk about exactly this. How do you end up in the friend zone? Why does it happen? And is there a way out? If you're ready, let's begin. First, we need to understand, why does the friend zone form? Most guys explain it as, I'm not handsome enough or I'm not rich enough. But that's wrong. The friend zone is not about attraction, it's about dynamics. Think about it this way. Two people meet. The first one, warm, attentive, always available, does everything she wants, hides his feelings, tries to just be a good friend and waits thinking, maybe she'll understand one day. The second one, calm, clear, shows his interest, but at the same time focuses on his own life, doesn't say yes to everything, creates a tension of attraction. Which one ends up in the friend zone, do you think? The first one. Why? Because the dynamic was established as friendship from the very beginning. And once a dynamic is established, changing it is very difficult. This isn't your fault. This is the result of a dynamic you built without being aware of it. And today you're going to understand how that dynamic formed. First reason, you hid your feelings and just played the role of good friend. Bro, this is a very common mistake, and I understand very well why it's made. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of losing that person. You think, at least let us stay as friends. But right here, you're falling into a huge psychological trap. Because by hiding your feelings, you're actually saying, I'm just a friend. And the woman starts seeing you that way too. Attraction feeds on ambiguity. If you never give a clear signal of interest, in the woman's mind, you automatically move into the safe zone, meaning the friend category. My girlfriend told me something very striking about this. If a man doesn't make me feel that he likes me, I normally don't think of him that way at all. Because mentally, I don't open that door. That's it. You are the one who will open the door. If you don't open it, that door stays closed. And you can't get through a closed door. Second reason. You fall into the dynamic of the reliable friend who does everything that's asked, who is always available. I need to ask you something. Think about this carefully. When did you ever say no in your relationship with that woman? When did you ever put your own priorities first? When did you ever say, this doesn't work for me? If the answer is never, or very rarely, we've just arrived at one of the biggest reasons for the friend zone. Because someone who is always available, who comes running at every request, who never says no, makes you feel safe. And feeling safe is a good thing. But it's not the same as feeling attracted. Attraction requires a certain amount of tension. It requires a little unpredictability. It requires the question, I wonder what he's thinking. I wonder what he'll do. If you're always there and always available, she never asks herself that question. And where there's no question, there's no curiosity. Where there's no curiosity, there's no attraction. This is a painful truth, but it is the truth. Third reason, you provided emotional support but never created attraction tension. This is a very subtle point, and most guys never think about it. Being a good listener is a beautiful thing. Being there for someone in their difficult moment is a beautiful thing. But if you've positioned yourself as someone who constantly provides emotional support, listens to every problem, searches for solutions to every issue, in the woman's mind, you become a safe harbor. And safe harbors are very valuable. But they don't create romantic tension. In psychology, this is called the emotional provider trap. The guy meets every emotional need, but an attraction dimension never forms. Because attraction doesn't feed on security, it feeds on tension. It requires a little ambiguity, a little independence, a little feeling of, this guy also has things happening in his own life. I learned this from what a female friend of mine told me. I had a best friend, she said. I would share everything with him. He would listen to every problem I had. But I never found him attractive, ever. Because I felt very safe with him, but there was no excitement. Because I didn't have different thoughts and feelings toward him. That sentence explained a lot of things for me. Fourth reason, you had no life of your own, no purpose, no priorities, or you pushed them to the back. This is perhaps the most critical point. A woman doesn't find a man interesting when he is the center of her life. Why? Because being the center means being predictable. If you're responding to her every message instantly, going along with every plan she makes, shaping your own life around her, in the woman's mind you become not a priority, but a constant. Constants don't attract interest. Variables attract interest. If you have your own career, your own hobbies, your own social circle, your own goals, and you're genuinely investing in these things, the woman will naturally start thinking, I wonder if there's a place for me in this guy's life. And that question is attraction itself. A close friend of mine went through this during one period. The guy was living his entire life for that woman. The woman cared about him very much, but never found him attractive. Then the guy started focusing on his own work, started working out, started spending time with his friends, and the woman suddenly started looking at him differently. The guy hadn't changed, the dynamic had changed. Fifth reason, from the very beginning you gave no attraction signal, you weren't clear. Bro, this is perhaps the most overlooked reason. Because most guys wait thinking, I'll say it when the right time comes. But the right time most often never comes, or comes too late. However the dynamic is established at the beginning of a relationship, that dynamic continues. If you only behaved in a friendly way in the early days, if you gave no attraction signal, if you showed no clear interest, that dynamic locks in as friendship. And changing a locked dynamic is much harder than starting from scratch. So what should you have done? Very simple. You should have been clear from the start, saying, it was really great meeting you. Want to grab a coffee? That's a small sentence, but it sends a very big message. I don't see you as just a friend. And when you give that message early on, the dynamic is established correctly from the beginning. Now let's get to the real question. Is there a way out of the friend zone? The honest answer is, sometimes yes, sometimes no. And this isn't within your control. It's entirely related to how deeply established that dynamic is. But I can say this, if there is a way out, how does it happen? Definitely not by trying harder, not by giving more compliments, not by playing the good friend role even more. Quite the opposite. To break the dynamic, you need to change the dynamic. What does that mean in practice? First, pull back. Be a little less available. Invest in your own life. Second, be clear. If you still have feelings and want to try, say this openly and calmly. I enjoy the time I spend with you, and I have feelings for you. I wanted you to know that. That's all. No melodrama, no begging, no long explanations. Just a clear and calm statement. Third, accept her answer. If she says no, receive that with respect and decide whether you genuinely want to continue being friends. But know this, continuing a friendship while hiding your feelings causes harm to both of you. This is a matter of self-respect. And I need to say this too. Sometimes the healthiest decision is to step away from that friendship. If you're sustaining that relationship while suppressing your feelings, you're hurting yourself and also being dishonest with that woman. Quietly and gently stepping away can be healthier for both you and her. And never perceive this as a defeat. This is a self-respect decision. A man who respects himself doesn't enter into endless waiting for a one-sided situation. He doesn't tie his own value to a woman's interest. And this freedom radiates a very powerful energy. And let me say this practically too. Your clothes sitting right on your shoulders, a light signature fragrance, eye contact, and a clean appearance. All of these shape the dynamic in the first impression. Small details send big messages. And if you give those messages correctly from the start, you'll never end up in the friend zone. Finally, let me say this to you, bro. Having ended up in the friend zone doesn't show that you're worthless. It only shows that you built that dynamic incorrectly. And dynamics are things that can be learned and changed. By watching this video, you've already taken a step. In the next meeting, in the next relationship, you'll apply what you know, and then you'll build the right dynamic from the start. The right person won't put you in the friend zone, because the right person feels your energy, your posture, your presence. Just learn to build that presence correctly. The rest will follow. Remember, don't lose yourself trying to win someone else.